what was one of the challenges that you had? Like, because I know we have people in this group that are from different countries, but like, what was some of the challenges that you had to overcome with being in a different country?
Especially in Europe, and I would say even worse in Belgium, France, but even the countries around us. The key issue and the key barrier for this business model is that people look at costs rather than returns on investment. And in the US, it's quite normal, usual that people would give you customers versus a commission, or it doesn't matter how much you pay if what you get back is better. I don't care paying 10K if I get 50K in return.
Exactly.
But in Belgium, you have this mindset that everyone wants to control costs. So they would rather pay $50 to get 60 than pay 5,000 to get 10,000, even if you can prove it. There's really this psychology of, yeah, it's expensive, but my cousin can do it for a tenth of your price. Oh, my sister done it for free, so why should I pay you? Yeah, what's your results? You have to fight that, and you cannot be as much in their face. As long as there's value in what you say in the US, you can be pushy. But in Belgium, you get pushy. Oh, people, they have this diplomatic, maybe, let's talk about it, which leads nowhere.
So you're saying you can't be as like upfront. So what do you mean by that? Like, what's something that would be overbearing? Like
typical close, let's say the typical close, Amex or Visa. You don't do that here. First of all, they will never give you any number. So you wrap things up nicely. Here's all you get for the contract. And by the way, guys, it's good to give them perspective. So you have to make a very high anchor so your price sits nicely. So my way of putting a high anchor is to find a lot of items, like I'm creating a website, I'm optimizing it, I'm making it SEO friendly, I'm maintaining it, I buy the domain name, I have the virtual phone number, blah, blah, blah. But I attach what it would cost you if you went to a regular marketing agency for this service. Building a website, 4,000 or 5,000 euros. Optimizing it for SEO, 1,000 a month. All those lines, and it all adds up to let's say a 40K amount. Of course, guys, that's not what you're gonna pay, because we're doing things differently. I want business in the long run. I'm not making money out of it right now. It's only gonna be a benefit for me only if we keep going for over a year. So my incentive is to keep you over a year. So that's why it's not gonna be a one-off. And from this point, they're primed to understand that whatever the price, I'm not benefiting from it, and it's already a huge discount from what they could get elsewhere.
I love it.
I give the price, they don't even discuss it, and then again I close with everything they can get, the other side of the contract, how we handle it. So the price is in the middle. The closing is more around discussing the conditions, how free they are relatively to the contract. It's 6 months, but I'm not gonna sue you if something happens. We just have a nice discussion between one another, a gentleman's agreement, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. They sign off, and then I sent the Stripe link. In Europe, you never give your credit card data away over the phone. Never, ever.
Wow. So that's how you get it, is through that?
Yes.
So has that been a problem for you? I know, like, can you use CallRail, Twilio? Like, what do you use for your call service?
I had to use Twilio. You cannot buy Belgian phone numbers on CallRail. And it took me quite a bit of time, because I'm not coding. I'm not a software engineer. Never written a line of code before. I'm not stupid, so I can easily find a code and replace the phone number if that's the only thing I need to edit. So I can do some small edits like this. And that's a little bit what I did with Twilio to set up the auto response and the whisper. But configuring Twilio took quite a bit of time, and it requires a back and forth also with Twilio support, because some features you cannot activate them. So you have to know it by trial and error. For instance, receiving short text messages, that is something that you cannot activate anywhere. You have to ask support, and they will maybe deliver it to you if they're feeling nice about it.
That's awesome. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, I like having you on here though, because like I've talked to other people in like Australia and stuff, but never like Belgium. But what do you use for your due due diligence? Is it like SEMrush or what do you use?
So before Digital Landlord, I was only using Keyword Planner for the due diligence and not really looking at business owners at first, but not really analyzing if there were anybody paying, because in Belgium, France, and Europe, we tend to pay much less for ads, which is also why it's all a bit more difficult. So in the training, you sell the sold basically, but you have much less people and the amounts are much lower than in the US, which is an opportunity because you spend also less yourself. There's less competition on the Google ads. So you pay less for Google ads, which is good, but it's harder to make people understand why they should pay that much to get leads from you. Another nice thing also, especially in Belgium, you don't hear about Angie.
Yeah, you don't have to be like, are you Angie's List?
Because I've got a few websites in the US because there I can land higher tickets easily. And Angie, I start to get the pain.
You definitely, it's so annoying. You're like, so are you with Angie's List? You're like, no, dude, I told you I'm not with Angie's List, dude.